Why is it important to have a good heat seal? With all the e-commerce business that's going on today, it's essential. If you don't have a good heat seal, you will cause leakage in the transportation system, and you could be responsible for all the product that gets damaged because your product leaked. If it does go to Amazon and they do see that it doesn't have a heat seal, they will put it in a bag and they will charge you extra for that bag and take it out of the payment that they send to you. So it's truly essential that you do get a good heat seal. So what are the steps to having a good heat seal? The first is it's really all about consistency. You need three things to make that happen: pressure, heat, and time, right? So pressure being the amount of application torque that you use to put the closure on. So you can see here I have a torque meter set up, and what you're looking for in application torque is you're looking for roughly half of the diameter of the closure in inch-pounds of rotational torque. So we have guidelines that we put out that tell you exactly what we expect for application torque as well, and then removal torque being half of that. So once the cap's applied, if you apply it at 20 inch-pounds, it should be able to be removed at 10 inch-pounds, or you should be able to record 10 inch-pounds of rotational torque when removing. So that's the pressure side of pressure, heat, and time. The next being the time, really, is the belt speed. So being consistent as that belt runs underneath your induction sealer, having your product paced out at the same interval and not varying the belt speed. So that's important. So as that product's moving underneath that induction unit, it stays in that heat zone for the exact same amount of time. And then power being how much, the percentage of power that you're applying through that induction coil to create the heat with the foil. So making sure that you have a good power supply and that the power adjustment on your heat sealing unit isn't getting adjusted by various employees. So if you maintain consistency across the board with the torque, I can tell you right now, that's 90% of the trouble calls that I go on have to do with torque, especially if it's inconsistent seals, right? So if some heat seals are good, some heat seals are bad, 90% of the time it has to do with torque, and it's application torque being too low. So getting that torque right is the first step in making sure you have a good seal. The other is you want to perform in-process inspections, right? So you want to take the cap off after it's been capped prior to induction, and you want to check your torques. Then after it goes through the induction process, you're going to want to check that again. So taking that cap off, inspecting the seal, make sure you've got a good seal. But in those two sections, it's crucial that you inspect for those removal torques, and then you also check and make sure that you're consistent in those removal torques as well. The third would be if you're running a two-piece liner, you're going to want to retorque. The reason being is because there's a wax layer that holds the heat seal to the pulp backing, and as that wax absorbs into the pulp, it creates a headspace, and that will automatically cause the cap to loosen up. So that's why you want to retorque. Mainly with CRs, but also with CTs. If you don't want that cap to be loose, then you definitely want to use a retorque. So there are some great resources out there on the internet for use today. I'll name a few of them in no particular order, but they are just outstanding resources. One that just came out is Sealix Sealing. They just offered a e-learning center, which will take you through setup, troubleshooting, everything that has to do with heat inductions. And also you can get all their spec sheets. Also Techniplex.com, they're the other manufacturer of lining materials. Great resource as well for all their spec sheets. Another two out there are Enercon Industries. They have a lot of helpful hints on YouTube and on their website on how to set up, how to test, how to troubleshoot. All of that is all contained inside of there. And then also Capsule has a lot of resources out there available to help you learn and get a better setup. Also, you can also call any of your Mold-Right Plastics, internal or external salespeople. They're always available to help. They'll get you in touch with myself. We can get you in touch with the professionals at Techniflex or Sealig. We can always help with making line recommendations. And then also with, we have a full production line in our Ohio lab. So we can get you close with belt speed, power settings, and torque to help you get your line set up and running correctly. So we appreciate everything that you guys do for us. And again, if you need any help in either e-commerce questions on what's a good package to put out there, or getting a good induction seal, don't hesitate to reach out to your Mold-Right Plastics sales representative. Thank you. Have a great day.